Alright guys, so welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well today. Of course, today I want to give you guys an update on what's happening in the crypto space. So right now, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is still not moving straight up, okay? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Clearly, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is still not really moving, okay? Still holding at $25,000, just below $26,000, okay? So if Bitcoin is not really moving, that means pretty much the entire crypto market is not really moving as well. You guys clearly see for the past 24 hours, Bitcoin and Ethereum and majority of altcoins today are not really moving. There are in fact some altcoins slightly moving over 1%, but overall, majority of altcoins are not really moving. You guys can see for the past 24 hours. Now, I understand that some altcoins obviously, do their own thing. If Bitcoin is not really moving, then that doesn't really fully mean, other altcoins, Pacific altcoins, don't move. Obviously we get days where Pacific altcoins do in fact move, guys, right? But we know majority of the time, if Bitcoin is moving, then that's when pretty much the entire market just follows Bitcoin, other altcoins, and it will pump with it. But right now, not much movements. Okay, so it's another day. It's another one of those days. It is in fact a boring day. Overall, the market is down 0.52%. Okay, so not much movements, and the global crypto market cap's still sitting above 1 trillion, which is always great to see. Now the FanGreed index right now is currently still holding in fear mode, currently at 41. Okay, so it seems like still investors are sort of fearful right now, which is okay, and it's understandable, okay, because Bitcoin has obviously been dropping for the past few days. We know that. You guys clearly see that. This is obviously the daily time frame, so it's understandable why investors are sort of feeling fearful right now. But understand, guys, soon enough Bitcoin is going to have a massive movement, and there is in fact a fair few charts, of course, I want to show you guys. Starting off with this one, you guys know I've been telling us as many times, if you guys have, in fact been watching my videos, I've been telling guys that I do in fact see at least a 50k Bitcoin towards the end of this year in 2023. So what do I mean by that? Well, sometime end of this year, maybe in November or even December, I do in fact see a 50k Bitcoin. Okay, even though yes, Bitcoin right now is not really moving, I still am predicting, and I'm still sticking with it, that I do in fact see a 50k Bitcoin towards the end of this year in 2023. And it seems like Stock Money Lizards agrees. He says here, okay, if you are not on a 5-minute time frame, you'll actually see what's about to happen. Year-end targets around $45,000 to $50,000. Okay, so it seems like I'm not the only one that's predicting that we will potentially see a 50k Bitcoin end of this year in 2023. Okay, so this chart is just showing you guys, okay, back in 2019 we were in fact in a bear market, and then hit a bottom, and then we had a pre-halving correction, and then we had a massive pump. That's exactly where we are right now. Okay, so history does sort of, I will say this, it obviously sort of repeats itself, and of course rhymes. Okay, now let me just show you guys the next chart, because it really does show you guys where we are right now currently. So back in 2020, I don't know if you guys remember this, right? Back in 2020, we had the COVID crash, right? So we had the COVID crash, and then obviously that's when Bitcoin hit a bottom, and then it slowly pumped back up. You guys can see it, right? It slowly recovered back up to its previous bottom, right, which was when we had the COVID crash. And this is where we are right now, pretty much, right? You guys clearly see that. So, back to 2020, we saw Bitcoin slowly recovering up to the upside, and then that's when the bull run absolutely happened, right? That's when the Bitcoin bull run did officially happen. You guys clearly see that. And that's pretty much where we are right now. Okay, so obviously recently, we know back in November of 2022, we had the FTX crash, right? Who remembers? Bad times, right? That's when FTX absolutely just collapsed and crashed and just shut down, going bankrupt and whatnot. And of course, we saw Bitcoin absolutely plummet. And it wasn't just Bitcoin. Obviously, it was obviously the entire crypto market, right? And that would have been a perfect time to buy, okay? Because that was in fact the official bottom for this bear market, right? In 2022. So ever since then, you guys clearly see throughout 2023, Bitcoin has in fact been slowly recovering up to the upside. And this is where we are right now. So you guys clearly see it's a similar pattern. What we are in fact seeing back in 2020 with the COVID crash, this is pretty much what we are in fact seeing right now with the FTX crash, right? So Bitcoin is slowly recovering up from the upside, just like what it did in 2020. Then after that, we had the massive bull run. That is exactly what we will in fact be seeing for Bitcoin, guys. Okay, so be excited for that for all my Bitcoin holders out there. Okay, so short term, okay, no matter what happens, guys, right? If Bitcoin does in fact, and it most likely will, okay, if it does in fact drop lower, if we do in fact see another pullback for Bitcoin, then yes, okay, we're gonna see, okay, Bitcoin plummet back down to, $24,000, maybe even 23. But I told you guys many times, I don't see Bitcoin going back down to like 20K. I really don't. And hey, if it does, then it does. Great. And you already know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying more, and we should all be buying more. We should take that as an opportunity to buy as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. Even with Bitcoin right now sitting at $25,000, I think right now is obviously the perfect opportunity to buy as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, right? I've been telling us that many times. We all should be at least dollar cost averaging, okay, DCAing into Bitcoin right now. Okay, this is a perfect time to do that because we're still in the buy zone, right? So I understand that yes, Bitcoin will potentially, right, drop further down to the downside. But I told you guys, this is most likely going to be the last pullback that we are in fact going to see for Bitcoin. Okay, so yes, we could potentially see it go back down to 24 to 23, just like what this chart is in fact showing. And it will eventually bounce back up to, surpass $30,000, guys. Okay, it's going to have another leg up. And I told you guys this might actually potentially be the last pullback. And then we're going to see a massive pump up to the upside, over $30,000, right? Honestly, I'm pretty sure we all want to see Bitcoin surpass $30,000, like surpass 31, of course, right? We will see that soon, guys. Okay, don't you guys worry. It may seem boring right now, but don't you guys worry. I reckon in the next upcoming few months, we will in fact see that for Bitcoin. And understand, guys, that October is coming up. We know September, which is this month right now, we know Bitcoin does not perform that great. But understand October, okay? October for that month, Bitcoin actually performs pretty well, okay? And I'm going to get to that. So I understand, guys, with Bitcoin right now not really moving, sort of boring right now in the market, right? Not much. We're not seeing much momentum for Bitcoin and crypto, but understand, guys, okay, in the next upcoming few months, and of course for years, of course I'm talking, 2024, especially 2025, understand Bitcoin's going to pump. And not just Bitcoin, but other altcoins. We know alt season is obviously around the corner as well. So we're going to see Bitcoin skyrocketing, and of course, your favorite altcoins are going to skyrocket as well. So be excited for that, guys. We are in fact about to enter the next bull cycle, right? Another Bitcoin bull run is coming, okay? So we're going to enter the next bull market. So be excited for that, okay? Bitcoin is ready for a massive bull run, guys, okay? Very, very soon. Mark my words. And this chart just clearly shows you guys that, right? And it's obviously going to be reaching a new all-time high. So be excited for that. Now, back to the Bitcoin monthly returns. Like I said, September, okay, so far this month, we are down 0.59%. Okay, so coming up to 1%. And I told you guys many times, usually September, Bitcoin doesn't actually perform too great for September. You guys clearly see for 6 years straight, from 2022 to 2017, 6 years straight, the month of September for Bitcoin has been terrible. Okay, we know Bitcoin doesn't actually perform too well for the month of September. So this year, I think this is going to be a very, very slow month for Bitcoin, and maybe we might actually see Bitcoin drop further down to the downside, because like I said, okay, usually September, we don't see Bitcoin perform too great. But understand, next month in October, usually October is actually a great month for Bitcoin. So be excited for that. Okay, so this month, stack as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, because most likely we will in fact see Bitcoin drop further down to the downside. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys. And hey, that's okay. If we do in fact see Bitcoin drop further down to the downside, which it might, it could, right? Most likely, buy more, right? Take that as an opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity to buy more Bitcoin. Because once it bounces back up, like if Bitcoin drops and it bounces back up next month, most likely, Bitcoin's not going to drop further down to the downside, right? Back down to if it drops to back down to 24 to 23, we might not actually see that again for Bitcoin, right? So take that as an opportunity. Take this month as an opportunity to stack as much Bitcoin. That's just my opinion, right? You guys can do whatever you want, but I hope you guys are just generally DCAing into Bitcoin, because right now is the perfect time to do all that, right? It really, really is. Now, in the other news in the crypto space, this is absolutely massive. Okay, I just want to talk about this real quick to end off this video. ARK Invest. Okay, so ARK Invest files for spot Ethereum ETF, and this is actually the first ever spot ETF for Ethereum, the first ever one. So Cathie Wood, we know Cathie Wood is the CEO. Okay, she's the CEO of ARK Invest. Okay, which is our asset management company. Okay, and they are filing, okay, for a Ethereum spot ETF, the first ever one. Okay, and if and when this does in fact, become approved, we might actually see Ethereum pump, of course, right? We're gonna see Ethereum pump, and you guys know how bullish I am for Ethereum. I know it's been a while since, I've talked about Ethereum, right? But you guys know I love Ethereum. I've been telling you guys many times, right? If you have in fact been watching my videos, I have in fact made a fair few videos talking about Ethereum, how excited I am for Ethereum. And this is actually some big news. This is actually a big, big, big deal for Ethereum, right? We know a lot of Bitcoin spot ETFs, okay, are waiting to be approved by the SEC. And now this is going to be the first one for Ethereum, right? Ethereum spot ETF. The first ever one. This is absolutely amazing. This is actually a big deal, guys, for Ethereum, right? So if you guys are in fact holding Ethereum, I would suggest you guys, this is just my personal, opinion, don't quote me on this or anything like that, but Ethereum's gonna pump. Okay, I really do believe we're gonna see a 10K, maybe even over a 10K Ethereum in the next bull market. Okay, I really do believe that. In fact, I made a video a couple of weeks ago. It's been like over a month, upcoming to 2 months now, I believe. I talked about Ethereum reaching a certain price. I think it was around $10,000. So if you guys haven't seen that video, you should definitely check it out, right? But I'm really excited for Ethereum. This is obviously a big deal for ETH, right? So for everyone out there that is in fact hodling Ethereum, continue to hodl and of course stack more. Okay, this is obviously not financial advice, so always do your own research. But understand, guys, okay, this is some big news for Ethereum. Okay, it really, really is. So that's exciting. Right, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about this. I would love to know. For me personally, I'm really excited. I'm super pumped, and I know if and when, like I said, right, if this does in fact get approved, which most likely it will, okay, most likely, we're gonna see Ethereum absolutely pump up to the upside. Okay, so that's that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't yet already. I really would appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.